Good morning, good morning. The school bell is ringing. It's time for class of some sort. In the case of some of the ladies we will be covering today, it may be low class. Uh, this morning I feel okay. I have a little headache, but for some reason my feet don't want to work. I think this is just an arthritis portion of the program, which that's part of my regular ailment. So we're going to try and squeeze in a little bit of Suzy Smart this morning. For a couple reasons. I have learned that I do better, even in pain, by sticking to my regimen. I remember to take all my meds and do all of that good stuff. So I figured that the best thing to do is to try to stick to that regimen and keep some semblance of order in my life. Uh, After I get done with this, I have been organizing some things for the auction. Well, I don't really want to call it an auction. It's a buy it now sale. And it will be done in multiple sections. One will be, really want to call it an auction. It's jewelry and coins. And another will be the home decor and miscellaneous. These will not necessarily be handcrafted, although some of them will. And then there will be a section that is coins and metal detecting items. Some of my wonderful channel peeps have donated back prizes that they won here on the channel. So we will be splitting that up in 3 different sections. Right now I'm having trouble getting hold of the lady I'm supposed to be buying the motorhome from. That is not a good sign. I'm hoping it is just because she is very busy getting resettled in her location. But if that is not the case, then I'm going to have to start hunting for a different motorhome, which I was hoping was not going to happen. But I remember the first one I bought, I had to go through 2 or 3 before I finally was able to get one that was suitable to my needs. I'm not concerned. I will have one. I have discussed this now with my brother. And although he did have some momentary caution in regards to my living in a motorhome in the winter, I did remind him that I have done so before. I know how to prep my home. I know how to keep everything from freezing. So he does understand the logic of going where I will have a far better chance of getting a real and true diagnosis of what is happening in my body. I don't know, I'm sitting here talking and not a soul watching me. I think I need to send this in. On a brighter note, I did finally receive a rebate from all the gas I've been spending for the last 2 months of driving back and forth to all these doctors. And to give you a clue on how much driving that has involved, I get 49 cents a mile back, and I received $149 yesterday. So that tells you I've been doing a bit of going. That I finally got back $149. Of course, that's all the way back from February, but nonetheless, that's a lot of money. That's going right back into the doctor fund, and that's a whole new situation because I don't know that I can drive to some of these doctor tours anymore. If they keep me on the medication that I am on, I'm fine. Well, not fine, but I mean, I'm functional. I can drive, I can fix my dinner, things like that. If they take me off the medication, which they have to do because the government just won't actually allow them to keep me on it, then I gotta find transportation to some of these places. I might as well just hang this up. I don't see anybody even having any remote interest in me anymore. I know nobody expects me to come on, so. And I am, of course, competing against a very popular show, Ida, over at the She Shop, but this is about the only time I have in which I can work on this. I have also been rolling coins, all those poison nickels and a lot of pennies that I had intended to sort, but they're just going to go back into the wild, other than me having pulled out the Wheaties and some S pennies. The rest of them are going back into the wild. So I have so far rolled up about $100 worth of change. I have a bunch more. But anyway, like I said, later this afternoon, since my feet don't want to work, I'm going to set myself down here and start putting together the 3 different Buy It Now videos, which will go on my other channel. Although I will be sure that there is a link over here. Buy It Now number 1 will be all handcrafted jewelry and decor. Buy It 2 will be miscellaneous items that I have not listed on eBay or Marketplace. They're things I need to sell, but I just haven't had a chance to get them listed. So, and then Buy It Now number 3 is just going to be home decor items, but not necessarily handmade. Some will be, some won't be. No, that's part of up to number 2. Number 3 is coins and metal detecting items. So I'm dividing the sale into 3 different sales just because it makes the slideshow a little bit shorter, And it also lets those who want to only focus on certain items get in there and do that. And then as things move along, there will be more items posted, and there will also probably be a conglomeration where it just becomes one show at a certain point. I'm going to use this one here as an example from my other channel that just has some items that show some of the stuff that I make. Just trying to get a link. Good morning, people. I did see people come in while I'm fumbling around here. A couple of you anyway. Good morning, Sandy Johnson. And I will announce when those auctions will be. I'm shooting for this weekend, but my health always has to kick in when I don't want it to. So far, as long as I have been on this regimen medication, which has been about a week, I have been pretty productive. But the moment I take it off, the screaming headache comes right back, and then I can't function anymore. So also later today, I have to argue with the doctor to see if I can get him to leave me on it for another week, because I have to do a, what do they call this? A order of referral to mediation, appointing mediator, scheduling mediator, and assessing mediator fee. I have to appear in an online mediation conference on the morning of May 11th. And I know I can't do that with my head screaming, so we're going to have to work something out. And that same week, I have a couple doctor's appointments, and they are like 60 miles away. So fun. Anyway, enough about me. We're going to talk about some ladies that have some more serious problems than I did. These ladies, back in the 1700s, got themselves in some little legal trouble because they were passing some funny money. So you don't think about counterfeiting and fake money going back that far, but I'm pretty sure that as long as money, from the moment God made a pocket to put some money in, there was somebody making some fake money. You just know they were. So I found a couple of interesting stories this morning. Miss Suzy Smart did anyway, that talk about some of these incidents where the cash being conveyed was not quite what it was really supposed to be. Okay, this one is from March 20th, 1735. Now, this one happened up, I can tell by the names of the towns. It's in Pennsylvania, and I can tell by the names of the towns that it was somewhere in the area of Bucks County, because it mentions the town of Byberry. And in my genealogy, I have run into Byberry before. So, it's hard to read some of the older articles because the way things were spelled, there was no really specific way of spelling some words. An F was used as a double S, for example. So if I stumble a little bit, it's because I'm having to translate this stuff in my head. But here we go with this lady. Saturday night last, a house in Strawberry Alley was broke open and about 10 pounds in money and some other odd things taken out of a little trunk that was locked up in a chest. 3 servants belonging to different masters being missing the next day were suspected of the theft and being taken at Byberry and brought to town. They contested the fact and are now confined in gaol in order to a trial. One of them is a lad of about 18 years of age. The money belonged to some poor people who had for years been getting it together in order to put themselves into some better way of belongings. Now, anyway, it goes on a little further and it says, we hear from Newcastle that on Thursday last, the 2 counterfeits of paper money who have been from time under sentence in the jail there suffered the punishment of whipping, pillory, and loss of ears, according to law. They were also fined £100 and to pay double the value of the damage. I'm having a hard time transferring this word over. Anyway, the damage found by the counterfeit bills. I mean, this is a pretty serious offense here. Whipping, pillory, and loss of ears. They cut these dudes' ears off for counterfeiting. That's pretty serious, folks. I mean, I know they arrest them nowadays, but never heard of them cutting off their ears. Oh my goodness. That's one way to lose your hearing. Maybe that's what happened to Vincent van Gogh. He got caught counterfeiting paper money and they chopped his ears off. Holy crud, man. That's pretty serious stuff there. And then I had this other one about this lady. I don't know what happened to the second one about the lady, but this one's from England. And this one was pretty interesting. I thought I could see some of the Hollywood gals, if they suddenly went broke, pulling this stunt. Half my trouble doing the show this early in the morning is finding things. Alright, we'll hit it here in a minute. You gotta get on the right page to find the articles. It's not like my other program. My other program, I just put everything in one folder and I could just go right to it. But this is a little bit different. And when I am not fully awake in the morning, it leaves me behind. Something tells me Suzy Smart taught in the afternoon. Because This Suzy Smart is not an awake person. Okay. Spray can. Hi, honey. How you doing today? I saw you were on yesterday, but I wasn't able to watch much. Yeah, I understand that one, Spray can. This is one of the few days I don't have to go to the doctor, but I'm betting bucks I gotta go tomorrow. They don't let me stay away longer than about a day or two before they start pushing the stuff at me. One thing they did do, which was really cool, I'm glad my insurance paid for it. They did a genetic screening on me, which cost several $100s. But what it did was it took my genetic profile and then created a list of medications and things that are good for my genetic makeup, things that are okay but not so great, and things that basically the only way I can put it is, oh hell no. Don't put these things in this lady's body. So we're looking at the thing, and there were medications in that final column that I had been on for several years, which is probably why I feel like crap, because I should never be taking those items. So we just did one section to see how it was going to work out. And now that we have done that one section, now we can justify to the insurance company that clearly it is showing big mistakes that were being made in my treatment. So now we can probably go to another one of my ailments and do the same thing. And the purpose of that is to get them to stop giving me stuff that's no good for me. It's a pretty amazing test. I was shocked at the results because I saw so many names of medications come up that I had told. One of them I had been on for 4 years. And about a year and a half ago, I just quit taking it. And my new doctor here in Virginia said, why did I quit taking it? I said, well, number one, it wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. In fact, it didn't seem like it was doing anything but making me worse. And whenever I would tell a doctor I didn't want to take that medication anymore, instead of taking me off the medication, they would raise the dosage. So for basically 4 or 5 years, they were just making me consistently worse. And my personal judgment was better than their medical assessment. So there were 2 or 3 like that on there. So hopefully we can get all that crap out of my system. Yeah, it's a very expensive test, but if you can get your insurance to pay for it, it is well worth the time. Good morning, Charles. I was just getting ready to read my second and final story of the morning. I'm not staying on very long because I don't want to wear myself out. But this is a pretty good one. This is January 22nd, 1725, in Paris, France. Yep, 1725. The ladies needed the finery and they didn't have the money, so here's what happened. Paris, January 22nd. Some days ago, the wife of a periwig maker, having bought at a mercer's shop a rich silk suit, was arrested and committed to Fort Leveque. I'm butchering that, I'm sure, for having paid the mercer in false Louis d'Ors, which he immediately discovered. this woman, who is very handsome, has uh, since counterfeited that she had the money of a petite maitre, my French is terrible, who used to frequent her husband's shop under the pretense of having his wig powdered, but in effect to get into her favor, which then granted him at last for 1,000 Louis d'Ors, and that those for which she was arrested are part of them, which, upon examination, have found all false and counterfeited. The young spark has absconded and is not to be found, though great search is being made after him. So basically, this guy was going into this lady's husband's place of business under the pretense of having his wigs tended to and powdered and so forth, and paying this lady with these fake coins, and apparently paying this lady for some extra things that didn't have anything to do with his wigs. And so she's taking the money and she's going down the road buying the fancy clothes with the fake money, and oh my goodness, she got caught. So then, of course, they're out chasing the counterfeiter around all over Paris in the 1720s. So I guess, it kind of goes to show, as long as there's been money, there's been counterfeiters. That wasn't really going to be my topic this morning, but since I've been sitting here rolling coins for a couple of days, it seemed appropriate. I'm going to give a quick roundup on the what's going on with the motorhome. Apparently now my soon-to-be ex is going to try to use the money for the motorhome as an asset. So I'm trying to point out to them that it is not an asset if I am being forced out of the home that I have now into a cheaper home. But it was suggested that I find someone else's name to put on the GoFundMe as the sponsor. The sponsor doesn't have to do anything because the thing's all set up and the money comes to my account. But it has been suggested that I change the name of the sponsor. So far, we only have in that account, I think, $150. I have not looked this morning. I have 1,700 elsewhere, but that basically is the balance of my, oh shoot, I hate when this happens. This is part of the problem. I lose brain function. Part of the stimulus package, and I have enough bills that if I said this money is for my bills, then that money would be gone. So I got the $149 I got back yesterday for my gas. I've got $92 in rolled coins. I've got the 1,700 stimulus and mussel shell. I know I'm missing something. I've got the 500 that was given to me for gas. So that's kind of where I'm at. I got around 2,400. But now my problem is I can't get a hold of Bree, and I'm hoping that it's just that she is in the middle of getting settled in Chicago and haven't gotten a hold of her. If for some reason this deal falls through, I'll find another one. I really liked this particular motorhome, but we will make do with whatever we have to make do with. Sadly, my sister is still on her not speaking to me over one of the dumbest things ever, which means that we lost access to those wonderful coin bags, except for the one that I have. She has no idea what they're worth, and she's probably going to end up throwing away money because she's being stubborn and doesn't want to talk to me. And that's her loss, but it's kind of our loss too. So anyway, I have a lot to do this morning. I will reiterate for those who missed the beginning. There will be 3 buy it now auctions going. I don't really like to call them auctions, buy it now sales going on my other channel within the next 2 or 3 days. Sale number 1 is the handcrafted jewelry and decor. Sale number 2 is coins and metal detecting items. And sale number 3 is just miscellaneous. Some of it's home decor, art supplies, that sort of thing, that are not handmade. They are just items that I need to sell that someone may have a use for. So my niece came and did some of the photos yesterday for the jewelry, so I'm going to be working on that today and trying to get that started posting. Now, you will need to go back through them periodically because as things come along, more items will be added to each one of those sections. Like I might get 20 pieces of jewelry up and then find 3 really more cool ones, so they'll get added later. So you will need to check back. I will try to post videos over here on this channel so that you know that things have been added over on that one. This video that I am posting a link to right now, it is a video on my other channel which shows some of my jewelry. And of course, to further kick me in the butt, the 4 family yard sale that we had planned to do this coming weekend has been canceled for a number of reasons. I'm not going to repeat what my niece said, but one of them, of course, was because I am sick and they don't want me out there. And others had to do with just different reasons. So that's canceled. I was supposed to start working as my sister's assistant at the farmer's market starting Memorial Day weekend, but that doesn't look like that's going to happen either for 2 reasons. Number 1, we're not getting along too well. Nothing new there. And because of my health. So that's why everything is starting to do a shift over to online. I would like to thank Charles and my friend Werner X who have both donated the prizes that they won in my April 11th or 12th giveaway to put back into the auction. I did talk to a lady yesterday in the neurology department at the University of Michigan, and they have a couple of studies. They think this, whatever it is that I have, would fit into. So basically, I asked her when those were starting, and she said the end of August. So I'm trying to get out of here in July because that's kind of when I think the rest of my family, other than my sister, are leaving, and then I won't have a support system here. So, by the way, if you live in Michigan and you happen to have a spot of land you would like to rent out for the purpose of parking a motorhome, I would much prefer living on someone's private land than trying to pay for a campground, which is going to eat up every dime that I have. So if you want to, I'll have my own generator, I'll have all of that stuff. So if you live in Michigan and you have a spot that I would be able to park in for a time, please let me know. I have one friend who has a farm, but the access road will not allow me to get the motorhome down there. We had that issue before with a much smaller home. So, good morning, beautiful telephone people guy. I miss all my peeps. That's why I try to get on here in the morning while I'm doing my meds, whether I feel good or not, just so people know I'm still out here. I'm still trying to figure out a way to save myself. I was watching old movies last night, and sometimes I really don't care, if it's a holiday movie or something. If I like the movie, I'm gonna watch it anyway. And I was watching Scrooge, and Jacob Marley is lying in the bed, and he's telling Scrooge, "Save yourself, save yourself." And I was thinking, yep, Suze, that's what you gotta do. You gotta save yourself. So, on that wonderful note, folks, I'm leaving. I hope you enjoyed the funny news articles of this morning, and I will keep you apprised of what is going on. I am not going down without a fight. At some point, I will get my coin show back up. I will get my detecting show back up. But right now, it's hard to just get me up. So I will see y'all probably in a day or so. Everybody take care of yourselves. Try to keep a little nest egg of money stashed away somewhere so you don't end up like I am now. Love y'all, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.